Now we are ready for our next bout on the card here at Tru Rev 63. First up to fight out of the blue corner, this is Ryan Hollon. Ryan Hollon taking his place inside the blue corner, now fighting out of the red corner, this is Mike Pecoy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tru Rev MMA cage is locked, loaded, and ready to go for our third bout of the night. Amateur MMA bout scheduled for 3 rounds of 3 minutes each with your referee, Steve Bethune. Your fighters, first up out of the blue corner. He stands 5'5", weighed in at 147.6 on the scale. He trains with old school jiu-jitsu. And tonight, he makes his cage fighting debut from Kirksville, Missouri, Ryan Hollon. His opponent fighting out of the red corner. Stands 6 foot tall, weighed in 159.5 pounds on the scale. He trains with Cedar Rapids Boxing. And his hometown is Iowa City. Say hello to Mike Pecoy!
All right, Holland and Pecoy. Ryan Hollon is 20 years old, 5'5", 147 pounds, with more seasoned but definitely still game. Mike Pecoy is 28 years old.
Oh, little knee to the head. Non-amateurs. Steve Bethune issuing the caution. I hate to tell tales out of school, but there was some controversy there at the end of the bout. And I think we're going to see an appeal from Strovers. He's insisting that he did not tap, but that'll go to the Iowa Athletic Commission. They'll decide that. We saw a heck of a bout, and this one, the action, this one continues.
Yeah. Holland working to get up. Absorbed a knee to the midsection in the process. Holland's leaving himself a bit open to right overhand or straight right. Needs to keep those hands up.
You sometimes see that when guys are trying to set up to go for a submission or swing for the fences like that.
That was a bit of a surprise. Yeah. Element of this surprise coming into play here. Sometimes when you have a younger fighter and somebody that's a little more or a little less experienced, it's actually tougher to deal with, a little more unorthodox, and they're these things that more seasoned fighters don't do.
Yeah, I mean there is a way to learn how to fight successfully in MMA, and sometimes those younger fighters get in the cage and forget all about it and end up winning anyway.
Yeah. It's like Holland's trying to shrimp to guard or looking for a sweep, and he got back to guard. Trying to move his hips out, but he needs to open up that guard if he's going to be very successful.
There he goes, gets him up. Pecoy grabs the reversal.
Boy, oh, you got to watch it. A little close for the spine. A little close. Potentially just step over and take the back here.
Well, again, as you mentioned, inexperienced fighters might not know that that's the move to make in that position.
Yeah, it takes time.
there was that knee to the head. Bethune right on top of it, issued the caution. In amateur MMA in Iowa, cannot throw knees or elbows to the head.
See, I didn't realize that. That must have been a change. I mean, they're always doing, something a little bit different.
Well, they call them the unified rules, but it's always the unified rules as adopted by the state of.
Yeah.
And those little differences, are important. And that's one of the ones in Iowa is you cannot attack with the elbow or knee in an amateur bout.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whether grounded or on top, that head's off limits.
Used to be that we couldn't knee from a down position, or even if both fighters were on the ground. Before that, you could, and
Then there was, can you up kick? And then I believe this year they changed the definition of what a downed opponent is, because a lot of guys are playing the game of putting one hand down and then lifting it up to strike. They changed that up a little bit. Fighters feeling each other out, round number 2.
And here's something I'm seeing again. This is the second match here in a row. I don't know if it's the inexperience or if just Hollon's style, but he's definitely switching back and forth from traditional to southpaw position, just at will.
Well, it could be in his inexperience. He hasn't figured out which one he likes to throw with.
That's the case a lot of times, and it's fine. It's totally fine if you can work that into your game.
Yep.
Because it's hard for Pecoy to figure that out exactly.
Yeah. Fighters going up against the cage, a bit of a scramble. Hollon's got him locked up in guard, or Pecoy's got him locked up here. I'm sorry, Hollon's got him locked up in guard. Pecoy trying to throw some head strikes, not quite landing as he works towards the edge of the cage.
Pecoy stacking him up, putting that pressure down. And just, pounding him through the guard, which is a tough spot to be in. He's got him pressed up against the cage, so at that point, your opponent could only attempt to sweep in one direction. And
right. And Steve Bethune, the referee, encouraging an active fight. He's going to tell him, hey, you need to do something, you need to do something. You can't just sit there and take damage, even if Pecoy's not connecting fully with those blows.
He got a couple knees from the ground anyway. And now Pecoy's looking at ground and pound. Hollon's a tough kid. I think that's one of his strengths that really shows here in his first.
And that can make up a lot for lack of technique. Is just pure heart that we're seeing from Hollon.
Still trying to get up. He's not quitting here. And we're coming into the closer round, So he just needs to weather the storm.
He needs to get to that bell or that horn, whatever they're using.
Just by the skin of his teeth, he was able to do it. Hollon doesn't look particularly gassed here. He's obviously tired, but he might be more tired of just getting hit than anything. He's absorbed a lot of punishment out there.
And there is a lot to be said for, having heart and being tough, but, Steve Bethune, the referee, is not going to let him just sit there and take punishment. And we saw him, step in there a couple times saying, you got to move, you got to change position, you got to do something.
Yeah, he was close, especially there at the end, to having that fight stop.
Yeah, he was probably pretty happy to hear that wood clapping together, indicating 10 seconds.
Yeah, be the best sound of the whole night for some of these guys.
Hollon getting some instruction from Bethune right before our third round starts. And this one, just looking at these fighters' inexperience, they may not know how to go through and finish. This one could go to the judges' scorecard.
Boy passes over into full mount. Hollon turns his back. Trying to scoop that leg, just getting flattened back out. Pecoy's got him in full mount again.
Hollon is very active in his defense here. But can't seem to get out of the grip of Pecoy.
Gotta watch that rear naked.
It looks like that's what Pecoy is working towards. Instead of raining down damage.
At this point, he looks like he'd just like to ground and pound, and maybe win one by stoppage. He could take the neck at any point here, but he's just deciding not to.
Yeah, he definitely had that opening wide enough to get his arm through the neck. And Bethune calling the bout right there.
Nice job by Mike Pecoy. Ref stoppage to strikes. Hollon was just smothered with a barrage of strikes by unrelenting Mike Pecoy. Didn't have any quit in him, but the referee will only allow so much. We will head into the ring announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, one heck of a bout, getting halfway through the third round to 1 minute and 30 seconds before Steve Bethune calls a stop to the action. Your winner by TKO out of the red corner,